All right, class. So far, we spent a lot of time looking at the external mechanics of the market. Supply and demand curves, that sort of thing. But today, we're going to pivot. We're moving from the outside world of transactions into the fascinating and way more powerful inner world of the consumer's mind. We are going to take apart the very engine of our economy, how and why people decide to buy things. And let me be clear, this is not just some academic exercise. Understanding this is, without a doubt, the most fundamental skill you'll need to create real value in any business.
This quote right here, it absolutely hits the nail on the head. It's the whole game. Think about it. A plane ticket is just a piece of paper or, a QR code on your phone. But nobody buys it for the paper or the pixels. They're buying what it represents. They're buying the feeling of adventure, the relief of a relaxing vacation, or the joy of seeing family again. So, from an economic standpoint, what they're really purchasing is a future feeling of satisfaction. This means, as future managers, your main job isn't logistics, it's not about moving boxes or booking rooms. Your job is to create and deliver a feeling. Your product is the experience the customer has.
Okay, so we're talking about feelings and satisfaction. But this is an economics course, right? We can't just operate in a world of vague emotions. We need a way to measure this stuff, to compare it, to actually build models and make predictions. And that's where this next concept comes in. The term we use for a measurable unit of satisfaction is utility. You can almost think of it as the official currency of happiness. It's the tool that lets us take something subjective like desire and turn it into an objective framework we can actually work with.
Now let's put this definition to work. A sea view room at a hotel is a perfect example. The room itself might be literally identical to the one across the hall facing the parking lot. Same bed, same TV, same square footage, but it costs more, sometimes a lot more. Why? Because the hotel isn't just selling you a room, they're selling the experience value of waking up to that view. They are selling you utility. So the real challenge for a manager becomes, how do you put a price tag on a feeling of peace? It's the same for a great restaurant. The chef's job isn't just to cook the fish, it's to maximize the pleasure, the utility of the entire meal. Always remember, your pricing should reflect the value of the experience, not just the cost of the parts.
Now, just knowing the word utility isn't enough. If you really want to effectively manage and influence customer choices, we have to get more specific. We have to get more granular in our analysis. We need a way to separate the consumer's overall satisfaction with the entire experience from the satisfaction they get from just the next little bit. This distinction, and it's a crucial one, is the secret to everything from smart pricing to product design.
So, here are the two critical metrics you need to master. On one hand, you've got total utility. That's the big picture. That's the cumulative sum total of happiness from the whole shebang, the entire 3-day vacation. Your marketing brochure, your TV ads, they're selling total utility. But then, on the other hand, you have marginal utility. This is the nitty-gritty. This is the extra satisfaction you get from one more unit. So not the whole vacation, but the happiness you'd get from adding that third day. When you're at the check-in desk trying to upsell a customer to stay one more night, you're not talking about total utility anymore. You are now in the business of marginal utility. Your success as a manager really boils down to knowing which conversation you're in. Are you selling the whole dream or just one more day of it?
Okay, so the vacation example is great for understanding the concept. But now, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's put some numbers to these ideas so we can see exactly how they work. We're going to do a little something I call the SATE calculation. And what this will show us is not just how total and marginal utility dance with each other, but it's also going to reveal a fundamental, unshakable law of consumer behavior.
So, picture this. A tourist has had a long day of sightseeing, they're starving, and they sit down to order some satay. To model their decision, we're going to assign a number to their satisfaction. Economists call these hypothetical units utils. Now, don't get too hung up on what a util is. The absolute number doesn't really matter. What matters, what's absolutely critical, is the pattern we're about to see. Watch what happens to the number of utils with each additional satay stick.
Let's walk through this table very, very carefully. That first stick of satay, it's amazing. You're starving, it's delicious. It provides 10 utils of marginal utility. So after one stick, our total utility is also 10. Simple enough. But now, here comes the second stick. It's still really good, but that desperate edge of your hunger is gone. So the additional satisfaction, the marginal utility, is a little less. Let's call it 8 units. Now look what happens to the total utility. It's the 10 from the first one plus the 8 from the second one. So our new total is 18.
This is the moment of insight right here. The total utility is still going up, but it's going up by a smaller amount. It's increasing at a decreasing rate. This phenomenon is called the law of diminishing marginal utility, and it's one of the cornerstones of microeconomics. So what do you think the marginal utility of the third stick will be? Maybe 6, maybe 4? Whatever it is, you know for sure it's going to be less than 8.
Now, this whole idea of diminishing marginal utility isn't just some dusty old academic theory. It's an incredibly powerful tool. For you as a manager, understanding this predictable drop in customer satisfaction gives you a huge strategic advantage in pretty much everything you do, from product design to pricing. So let's dig into exactly how you can use it.
And this really brings us to the bottom line, the most important question for everyone in this room. How do we take this principle and turn it from a chart in a textbook into a real profit-generating business strategy? How does that satay example actually inform the way you run a hotel, or price a Netflix subscription, or design a menu at a restaurant? This is where we build the bridge from theory to practice.
Here are 2 immediate, concrete applications. First, let's talk portion sizes. The satay example proves that bigger is not automatically better. There's a point where a customer's marginal utility hits 0. Or worse, it can even become negative if they feel uncomfortably full. The perfect portion size is that sweet spot where their marginal utility is still positive, but just starting to tail off. That's how you maximize satisfaction without creating waste. Second, package lengths. It's the exact same logic. Whether it's a hotel stay or a software subscription, your job is to find the ideal length where the total utility is peaking, right before the marginal utility of adding 1 more day or 1 more month drops below the price you're charging for it. This is the strategic thinking that powers all those tiered pricing models you see everywhere.
So this all leads to a massive fundamental challenge that every single business has to face. If the law of diminishing marginal utility is like gravity, constantly pulling customer satisfaction down, how in the world do you build a business on repeat customers and growth? Well, the answer is you have to actively fight this law. This is why companies are obsessed with innovation. It's why they introduce new flavors, new features, and new loyalty programs. All of those are just different strategies designed to reset or kickstart a customer's marginal utility curve all over again. So, as you leave here today, I want you to think about this. Pick a business you admire and ask yourself, what is their strategy? How exactly are they fighting the war against diminishing utility?